Amelia slammed the door shut behind her, the echo reverberating through the quiet suburban house like a gunshot. Her father's face, twisted in rage, flashed in her mind as she collapsed onto her bed, heart pounding from the confrontation that had just exploded in the living room. "You're not my daughter anymore if you keep this up," he'd shouted, holding up the printed emails he'd found on her computer. Messages from Emily, her secret girlfriend, filled with words of love that now felt like evidence in a trial. She buried her face in the pillow, tears soaking the fabric as waves of shame and defiance crashed over her. How had it come to this? For months, she'd hidden her feelings, knowing her conservative family in this small Ohio town wouldn't understand. Her father, a devout church elder and successful businessman, had always preached about traditional values, family honor, and the right path. But Amelia had known since high school that her heart beat differently. Boys never stirred anything in her. It was girls with their softness and understanding who made her feel alive. And then there was Emily, the girl from her college literature class, with her sharp wit and kind eyes that saw right through Amelia's carefully built walls. That night, as she lay there replaying the scene, her inner turmoil boiled. "Why can't he just accept me?" she thought, her mind racing. "I've tried to be the perfect daughter. Straight A's, volunteer work at the church, even dating that boy last year to please him. But it's all a lie." The emails had been careless. She'd forgotten to log out after a late-night chat where Emily confessed how much she missed her. Now her father knew everything. He'd called it a phase, a sinful choice, and demanded she ended immediately. But Amelia couldn't. Emily wasn't just a fling. She was the first person who made her feel truly seen. The next morning, the tension was palpable at breakfast. Her mother, always the peacemaker, avoided eye contact, stirring her coffee endlessly. Her younger brother, Tommy, shot her curious glances but said nothing. Father sat at the head of the table, his Bible open beside his plate. "We're going to fix this, Amelia," he announced without preamble. "I've arranged for you to see Pastor Reynolds. He'll help you get back on track." Amelia's stomach dropped. Conversion therapy? She'd heard horror stories online. Sessions designed to cure people like her, filled with guilt-tripping and pseudoscience. "Dad, please," she whispered, her voice trembling. "This isn't something you can fix. It's who I am." He slammed his fist on the table, making the dishes rattle. "Who you are is my daughter, not some deviant influenced by that liberal college nonsense." His words cut deep, echoing the sermons she'd endured growing up, where homosexuality was painted as a moral failing. Amelia felt a surge of anger. How dare he reduce my love to a problem? But fear held her back. She depended on him for tuition, for the roof over her head. Defying him meant risking everything. Over the following weeks, the pressure mounted. Pastor Reynolds' sessions were grueling, hours of prayer, discussions about gender roles, and assignments to journal her temptations. Amelia sat through them, nodding mechanically, but inside she seethed. "This isn't helping. It's breaking me," she thought during one particularly brutal session where the pastor described same-sex attraction as a demonic foothold. She started sneaking calls to Emily, who listened patiently as Amelia vented. "You don't have to go through this alone," Emily said, her voice a lifeline. "But be careful. Don't let them change you." Yet the therapy chipped away at her resolve. Doubts crept in. What if they're right? What if I am broken? Her father's approval had always been her North Star, and now it was conditional. He monitored her phone, restricted her outings, and even threatened to pull her from college if she didn't improve. The family dinners became battlegrounds, with passive-aggressive comments from her mother about finding a nice boy, and Tommy's innocent questions that stung like accusations. One evening, after a session that left her in tears, Amelia met Emily in secret at a coffee shop on the outskirts of town. Emily's hand on hers felt like rebellion. "I can't keep doing this," Amelia confessed, her voice cracking. "It's tearing me apart." Emily pulled her close, whispering, "Then fight back. But only when you're ready." That moment solidified something in Amelia. A spark of resistance amid the despair. But as she drove home, she wondered what price she'd pay for choosing herself. The conflict escalated when her father discovered a hidden note from Emily in her room. "This ends now," he declared, grounding her indefinitely. Amelia's mind raced with options. Run away, confront him head-on, or endure until she could escape. Every choice feels like a betrayal, she thought. To myself or to my family. The weight of it all pressed down, but deep down, she knew submission wasn't an option. Not anymore. As the days blurred into a haze of isolation, Amelia began journaling not just for therapy, but for clarity. Her entries poured out raw emotions. The joy of Emily's laugh, the sting of her father's disapproval, the societal whispers that labeled her love as wrong. She realized the therapy wasn't about healing. It was about control. If I let this define me, I'll lose everything that matters, she reflected. But breaking free meant shattering the family facade they'd all upheld for so long. Finally, in a moment of clarity, Amelia decided to confide in her mother. "Mom, I need you to understand," she said one night in the kitchen, away from her father's ears. Her mother listened, tears in her eyes, but her response was hesitant. "Your father only wants what's best. Give it time." The lukewarm support felt like another blow. Even she can't fully stand by me, Amelia thought, feeling more alone than ever. Yet it fueled her determination. She started researching support groups online, hidden behind incognito tabs, learning about others who'd survived similar ordeals. The turning point came during a family church event. As the congregation sang hymns about redemption, Amelia felt a disconnect so profound it physically hurt. "This isn't my redemption. It's their erasure of me." That night she texted Emily, "I can't hide anymore." The response was immediate. "Then don't. I'm here." But as Amelia plotted her next move, she couldn't shake the fear of the fallout. The potential loss of home, family, future. The drama was just beginning, and every step forward demanded a sacrifice she wasn't sure she could afford. Amelia's decision crystallized in the dead of night, her phone glowing under the covers as she read stories of others who'd escaped conversion therapy. The next day, she skipped her session with Pastor Reynolds, driving instead to the campus LGBTQ center, her heart hammering with a mix of terror and exhilaration. There, amid posters of pride and acceptance, she met a counselor who listened without judgment, validating what she'd known all along. Her love wasn't a flaw to be fixed. But returning home was like walking into a minefield. Her father was waiting, arms crossed, the pastor's concerned voicemail playing on speaker. "Where were you?" he demanded. Amelia stood tall, though her knees shook. "I was getting real help, Dad. Not that nonsense you're forcing on me." The words hung in the air, igniting a firestorm. He accused her of rebellion, of being influenced by godless radicals. Her mother hovered in the doorway, pleading for calm, but Tommy, overhearing, looked at her with wide eyes, as if seeing his sister for the first time. Inside, Amelia wrestled with guilt. "Am I destroying our family for my happiness?" She pondered, replaying childhood memories of her father's pride in her achievements. He'd worked 2 jobs to send her to college, sacrifice for their comfort. Now she was repaying him with defiance. But the therapy had shown her the cost of silence, eroding her self-worth, making her question her every feeling. Emily became her anchor, their stolen meetings filled with whispered plans for the future. As weeks passed, the family's fractures deepened. Her father enlisted relatives in his campaign, Aunt Clara calling to share success stories of ex-gays, while Uncle Mike suggested military school to straighten her out. Amelia felt besieged, her inner monologue a constant battle. "They're trying to love me in their way, but it's suffocating me," she confided in Emily during a park rendezvous, the autumn leaves crunching underfoot as they walked hand in hand. "What if I lose them forever?" Amelia asked. Emily squeezed her hand. "What if staying means losing yourself?" The pressure culminated in a family intervention. Gathered in the living room, her parents, pastor, and a few church friends confronted her. "We love you, but this path leads to ruin," her father said, voice breaking for the first time. The pastor quoted scriptures, painting a picture of eternal damnation. Amelia's chest tightened. "They're so convinced they're saving me, but they're the ones causing the pain." She tried to explain, her voice steady despite the tears. "This isn't a choice. Emily makes me happy in a way nothing else does." The room erupted, accusations of selfishness, pleas from her mother to think of the family's reputation in their tight-knit community. That night, alone in her room, Amelia faced a moral crossroads. Do I owe them conformity? Or do I owe myself authenticity? The debate raged in her mind, weighing loyalty against freedom. She chose the latter, packing a bag and leaving a note. I love you, but I can't be who you want. Slipping out at dawn, she drove to Emily's apartment, the city lights blurring through her tears. Emily welcomed her with open arms, but the reality hit hard. Living together in a cramped space, scraping by on part-time jobs, Amelia grappled with the fallout. Calls from home went unanswered at first, but guilt gnawed at her. I've betrayed them, she thought, staring at the ceiling during sleepless nights. Emily was patient, sharing her own story of coming out to a supportive family, which only highlighted Amelia's isolation. Society's judgment amplified the drama. At work, whispers followed her after a coworker spotted her with Emily. Isn't that the girl whose dad disowned her? One said. Amelia's pride stung. I'm more than a scandal. She joined a support group, hearing tales of rejection and resilience that mirrored her own. One woman spoke of reconciling with her parents after years. Another of permanent estrangement. Which will it be for me? Amelia wondered. Tensions peaked when her father showed up at her job, demanding she come home. This isn't you, he insisted in the parking lot. Amelia faced him, voice firm. This is me, Dad. The therapy didn't change that. It only made me stronger. He left in anger, but his parting words haunted her. You're choosing her over us. The accusation cut deep, forcing her to confront the ethics of her choices. Is love worth this division? As months turned, Amelia and Emily's relationship deepened amid the chaos. They navigated financial strains, Emily's encouragement helping Amelia pursue her writing dreams. But shadows lingered, missed family holidays, Tommy's secret texts begging her to return. Amelia's inner conflict persisted. I've gained freedom, but at what cost to those I love? A betrayal loomed when her mother, torn between husband and daughter, leaked Amelia's address to the pastor, leading to unwanted visits preaching reconciliation on their terms. Amelia's resolve hardened. We need boundaries, she told Emily, deciding to seek legal advice for protection. The move felt like another wedge, but necessary. Every step forward demands a piece of my heart, she reflected. The societal backlash extended to online harassment after a church bulletin mentioned her fall from grace. Friends from home distanced themselves, labeling her ungrateful. Yet glimmers of hope emerged. Emily introduced her to a queer community event, where Amelia felt belonging for the first time. This is what acceptance feels like, she thought, contrasting it with her family's conditional love. But the drama wasn't over. A phone call from Tommy revealed her father's health was declining, stress from the family rift taking its toll. Guilt surged. Am I responsible? The question plagued her, setting the stage for inevitable confrontations. The news of her father's heart scare hit Amelia like a freight train. Tommy's voice trembling over the phone as he described the hospital visit. She paced the apartment, Emily watching with concern, as conflicting emotions warred within her. Resentment for the pain he'd caused, but undeniable worry for the man who'd raised her. If I go back, am I surrendering? If I don't, am I heartless? The dilemma tore at her, highlighting the moral ambiguities of their fractured bond. She decided to visit, driving the familiar route with a knot in her stomach. The hospital room was sterile, her father looking frail under the fluorescent lights, hooked to monitors. Her mother rose to hug her, tears flowing while Tommy lingered awkwardly. You came, her father said weakly, surprise in his eyes. Amelia nodded, sitting beside him. Despite everything, you're still my dad. The conversation skirted the elephant in the room at first. Small talk about weather, Tommy's school, but inevitably shifted. I never meant to hurt you, he admitted, voice hoarse. I thought I was protecting you from a hard life. Amelia's anger flared internally. Protecting me by erasing me? But she saw vulnerability in him she'd never noticed before. A man shaped by his own upbringing in a rigid era. Dad, your protection almost destroyed me, she replied calmly. The therapy, the ultimatums, they made me doubt myself. He averted his gaze, murmuring about church teachings and societal expectations. The visit unearthed buried resentments. Her mother confessed to enabling it all, torn between loyalty to her husband and love for her daughter. I should have stood up sooner, she said. Amelia felt a pang. We've all paid prices in this mess. Back home with Emily, she dissected the encounter. He seemed regretful, but is it enough? Emily held her. Only you can decide what forgiveness looks like. Societal pressures compounded the turmoil. News of her father's illness spread through the community, twisting into gossip that blamed Amelia's lifestyle for his stress. Anonymous letters arrived, quoting Bible verses condemning her. Why must my love be a public debate? She thought, the judgment fueling her advocacy. She started blogging anonymously about her experiences, connecting with others facing similar battles, finding solace in shared stories. A betrayal struck when a supposed friend from the support group outed her blog to the church, leading to a smear campaign. Pastor Reynolds emailed her, offering guidance again, implying her father's health was divine retribution. Enraged, Amelia confronted the friend. How could you? We were supposed to support each other. The response was defensive. I thought it would help you see the light. The incident shattered her trust, reminding her of the pervasive prejudice, even within safe spaces. Emily faced her own challenges, her family questioning the relationship's stability amid the drama. Is this worth the constant fight? Her mother asked during a visit. Emily defended them fiercely, but doubts seeped in. Am I dragging Amelia down? Their arguments grew, small at first, over money, over how to handle the family, but escalating into heated debates about commitment. Sometimes I wonder if we'd be better apart, Emily snapped one night, regretting it immediately. The confession rocked Amelia. Is our love strong enough to withstand this? She reflected on the sacrifices. Leaving home, enduring isolation, now risking their bond. They talked through the night, reaffirming their feelings, but the strain lingered. Amelia's inner monologue turned introspective. Love isn't just romance. It's enduring the storms together. But what if the storm never ends? High drama unfolded at a family gathering for Tommy's birthday. Invited tentatively, Amelia attended with Emily, a bold statement. Whispers followed them, relatives avoiding eye contact. Her father, recovering but stern, pulled her aside. Bringing her here? You're rubbing it in our faces. Amelia stood her ground. This is my life, Dad. Accept it or not. The argument drew the room's attention, her aunt intervening with platitudes about unity, but it exposed raw divisions. Her mother's quiet support emerged, defending Amelia for the first time. She's our daughter. We need to love her as she is. The shift stunned everyone, including Amelia. Finally, an ally, she thought, but it came at a cost. Her parents' marriage strained further, arguments echoing through phone calls Tommy relayed. As Amelia navigated these waters, she pursued therapy of her own choosing, unpacking years of internalized shame. Sessions revealed how societal norms had warped her self-view, making her question every decision. I've been fighting not just them, but the voice in my head they planted. Progress was slow, marked by setbacks like panic attacks triggered by church bells. Emily's unwavering presence became crucial, their relationship evolving through the trials. They volunteered at Pride events, turning personal pain into purpose. But a moral quandary arose when Tommy confided. He was questioning his own identity. Seeing you go through this scares me, he said. Amelia advised caution. Be true to yourself but know the risks. Am I guiding him or burdening him with my baggage? The cumulative stress led to a breaking point. During a heated call with her father, he offered an olive branch. Come home for dinner alone. Amelia refused. Emily is part of me now. He hung up, leaving her in silence. Reconciliation on his terms isn't real, she realized. The rejection hurt, but it clarified her path forward with Emily, building a chosen family amid the ruins of the old. Yet doubts persisted. Have my choices been right? Or have I caused unnecessary pain? The question haunted her as tensions simmered, setting up for explosive revelations. Amelia's world shifted again when an unexpected letter arrived from her father, not angry but reflective, a rare glimpse into his vulnerability. I've been reading Talking to Others, he wrote. Maybe I was wrong. The words sparked hope, but caution tempered it. Is this genuine, or another manipulation? She wondered, sharing it with Emily, who urged her to respond carefully. They met at a neutral cafe, her father alone, looking aged by the ordeal. No pastor, no Bible, just coffee and conversation. I saw a therapist myself, he confessed. The church. It blinded me to your pain. Amelia listened, tears welling as he apologized for the therapy, the ultimatums. I thought I was saving you, but I was losing you. The admission cracked her defenses. He's trying, but can I forgive the damage done? The reconciliation was tentative, marked by awkward family dinners where Emily was eventually included. Her mother embraced the change, but underlying tensions remained. Subtle comments about phases, relatives' judgmental stares. Society's shadow loomed. A local news story about conversion therapy bans highlighted their story anonymously, drawing mixed reactions. Supporters reached out, but haters trolled, calling her family weak for yielding. Internal conflicts raged. By forgiving, am I excusing the harm? Amelia pondered during quiet moments. Emily noticed her withdrawal. Talk to me. Their discussion revealed fears. Amelia worried about regression. Emily about being a perpetual outsider. We've fought so hard, Emily said. Don't let doubt undo us. A betrayal from within the family amplified the drama. Uncle Mike, staunchly conservative, confronted her father. You're condoning sin. The argument escalated, dividing relatives, some siding with progress, others tradition. Amelia felt responsible. My truth is splintering generations. Tommy, inspired by her, came out as by adding fuel. Thanks for paving the way, he said, but the backlash targeted him too: school bullying, church exclusion. Amelia intervened, advocating for him, but it reopened her wounds. The cycle continues because of people like us challenging the norm. She organized a family meeting, laying bare the costs. Emotional scars, lost relationships. We can heal together or break apart, she stated. Responses varied. Her father committed to change, her mother supported, but Uncle Mike stormed out, vowing distance. The moral dilemmas intensified. When a church friend offered help for Tommy, Amelia reported it, leading to community fallout. Am I overreacting or protecting? The decision strained ties further but empowered her. Emily's role grew vital, their bond tested by external pressures. An argument erupted over moving away. Starting fresh could save us, Emily argued. Amelia resisted. Running means giving up on change here. They compromised, staying but setting firmer boundaries. Amelia's writing flourished, her blog gaining traction, turning personal turmoil into advocacy. But success brought envy. A former friend leaked private details, sparking online debates about her agenda. Privacy sacrifice for visibility, is it worth it? She questioned. High-stakes drama peaked at a town hall on LGBTQ rights. Amelia spoke publicly, sharing her story, facing hecklers including old church members. Her father attended, standing in support. A pivotal moment. I'm proud of you, he said afterward, hugging her. The gesture moved her, but skeptics whispered manipulation. Emily's patience wore thin amid the spotlight. This fight is consuming you, she said during a tense evening. Amelia reflected. Have I prioritized the cause over us? They navigated the imbalance, recommitting through couples counseling, learning to balance activism with intimacy. Societal mending was slow. Pride parades brought acceptance, but daily microaggressions persisted. Amelia's inner growth shone. I've traded conformity for authenticity, paying with pain but gaining purpose. Yet, doubts about choices lingered. Had defiance been too costly? The story's threads converged in a family crisis. Tommy's depression from bullying. United, they sought help, her father's involvement marking true change. We all make mistakes, he admitted. Amelia nodded. Forgiveness isn't forgetting. It's moving forward. But as peace tentatively settled, underlying questions remained, challenging the ethics of their journeys. With Tommy's recovery underway, the family dynamic stabilized, but scars ran deep, reminders of the battles fought. Amelia and Emily moved into a modest house, symbolizing their commitment amid the healed rifts. Dinners with her parents became regular, conversations evolving from strained to genuine, though occasional slips, like her father's awkward questions about the lifestyle, tested patience. Internally, Amelia grappled with the aftermath. We've come far, but was the pain necessary? She mused, journaling less about conflict and more about gratitude. Emily's support remained steadfast, their relationship a testament to resilience. We made it through the fire, Emily said one evening as they watched the sunset. Amelia smiled but wondered. At what invisible costs? Societal acceptance grew incrementally. Her advocacy led to local policy changes banning conversion therapy, a victory bittersweet. Celebrations followed, but backlash from holdouts reminded her of ongoing struggles. Change demands constant vigilance, she thought, mentoring others in similar plights. A final confrontation arose when Pastor Reynolds approached her father again, urging a return to true faith. Her father rebuffed him. "My daughter's happiness is my faith now." The stand solidified their bond, but Amelia pondered the irony. His transformation came from my rebellion. Tommy thrived, openly dating, crediting Amelia's courage. Yet, moral ambiguities persisted. Had her father's initial actions been villainous or misguided love? Amelia debated this in quiet moments, weighing forgiveness against accountability. Emily challenged her. "Holding grudges hurts you more." The insight prompted reflection. Letting go isn't weakness, it's strength. As years blurred, the family reunited for holidays. Emily integrated fully. Laughter replaced tension, but echoes of past hurts surfaced in stories shared. Amelia's writing career blossomed, a book detailing her journey inspiring thousands. Reviews praised its raw honesty, sparking debates on family, identity, and ethics. In the end, Amelia stood stronger, her love with Emily unshakable. Her family mended but forever changed. The prices paid, emotional wounds, lost innocence, shattered illusions, fueled her growth. But one question lingered, inviting scrutiny. Was forcing change on a loved one ever justifiable? Or does true love demand unconditional acceptance? With Tommy's recovery marking a turning point, the family began to weave new threads of connection, though the fabric was forever altered by the tears of conflict. Amelia visited home more often, each trip a mix of warmth and wariness, as if testing the waters of this fragile peace. Her father, now retired, spent hours in his study reading books on LGBTQ issues, his transformation a slow but earnest one. "I was afraid of what I didn't understand," he confessed during one heartfelt talk. Amelia listened, her heart softening. Fear drove us all to dark places. But forgiveness wasn't linear. Nights found her awake, replaying the therapy sessions, the isolation. Can words erase that trauma? She questioned, sharing with Emily, who reminded her of progress. Their home became a sanctuary, filled with books, art, and plans for the future. Perhaps marriage, adoption. "We've earned this," Emily said. But Amelia wondered if societal hurdles would persist. Advocacy consumed her, speaking at conferences, her story resonating with audiences. Applause followed, but so did criticism. "You're glorifying division." "Am I? Or exposing truths?" The moral tightrope challenged her, balancing personal healing with public impact. Tommy's openness inspired her. He joined her at events, their sibling bond stronger than ever. A lingering betrayal surfaced when Aunt Clara apologized privately. "I pushed your father because I feared for my own daughter's questions." The revelation highlighted how prejudice rippled through generations. Amelia empathized. "We're all products of our environments, but breaking free requires courage." Emily's family provided contrast, their unconditional support a balm. Holidays blended families, awkward at first but evolving into joy. Yet microaggressions crept in, a relative's joke, a news story triggering debates. Acceptance isn't perfect, Amelia reflected. Her father's health improved, but the scare had changed him profoundly. He volunteered at a support hotline, atoning through action. "You taught me," he told Amelia. The role reversal humbled her. My pain catalyzed his growth. As the narrative of their lives unfolded, Amelia authored her memoir, delving into the psychological depths, the inner monologues of doubt, the decisions that defined them. Reviews sparked controversies. Heroic tale versus family destroyer. The discourse mirrored her journey's essence, debatable choices, disputed rights. In quiet introspection, Amelia weighed it all. The initial shock, the betrayals, the awakenings. She and Emily built a life rich in love, surrounded by a chosen circle that included reconciled kin. The damages mended slowly, but completeness eluded. A reminder of reality's complexity. Ultimately, Amelia emerged resilient, her spirit forged in adversity. The saga closed not with tidy resolution, but with an open query. In the face of deep-seated beliefs, is imposing change on someone you love ever right? Or does genuine care require letting them forge their own path, no matter the discomfort?